Okay. Yeah, some new music. New. Okay, and the part that I've been dreading for a little bit. Backpacks. No, I'm not looking forward to the backpacks. The effect on my desk? Oh yeah. The sun is particularly facing my window for some reason. It is pretty nice. It's real beautiful. It fits the music too. It gives me a nice ambience. Early in the morning. The beauties of waking up early. Alright, I need something that isn't moist under my arm. I use a little rag to clean up the water that spilled from the new cup of water, and I used a little towel, and that little towel I was going to use to rest, you know, my forearm so that I can get better stability on the table. But yeah, it is not good. It's wet. And good morning to you, Oita. Good morning. Good morning. There, I got a new little towel. I'm gonna put this here on the side so I can put my arm there and rest it. Okay, there we go. Alright, so here goes the backpacks. I am afraid to do the backpacks. It is just so much. So much. But here goes nothing. Yeah, I hope you fall asleep. I hope you can fall asleep, my friend. That way, you get your rest. All these little pouchies. The main backpack itself. Oh boy. Ah, this music is so relaxing. We got the nice piano. We got Halo. We got the Krieg. We're gonna have to go back and paint the straps later. I just want the majority of the color on here. Now the problem is we're gonna need 2 coats because this thing I'm seeing it is going to probably need 2. A little too translucent. And I don't want it translucent. Okay. Majority of the backpacks are done, at least the main body. The straps, I feel like I should go after later on whatever that thing is. I think it's like a little resting bed that they have on their backpack. Let's see if it focuses. Watch. So that's the backpack right here, the main brown part, and up top there's like a roll, and I'm assuming that roll is like their sleeping bed. Did I sleep well? Yeah, I've had a lot of restless days where I've been staying up also very late, working on my own personal projects, honestly, that I've been wanting to work on for the longest periods of time. And I've been sleeping insanely late. Like, I've been sleeping for 4 hours for the last few days. And today I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to put a timer because I wanted to wake up even earlier, like forcibly wake up even earlier to stream. And I just said, I want to like nature take its course. My body will speak for itself. So I did not even turn on an alarm. Since it's my day off, I said, when I wake up, I wake up. So yeah, that turned into 8 hours. So I slept my 8 hours, which is so good. I feel awesome. Yeah, like a sleeping bag. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Yeah, it was really nice. I feel great. And then having this music here kind of just fits that emotion I'm feeling, you know? Just calm, that calmness, the prepared, the halo. Man, I kind of wish I didn't put the backpacks on. It would make this process so much quicker. And pretty sure I put them on with super glue. Lesson learned. Don't glue the backpacks on yet, because yeah, that sucks. Already too late. Already too late. Maybe I should focus on painting the exterior first, and then the parts in between the shoulders and stuff, because that's gonna take way too long. If I do switching of brushes constantly, that's just time that's wasted. Every moment when it comes to army painting, right? When you're army painting, you have to focus on how very little steps you take to move from one model to the next. And you'd be surprised, like switching brushes, just like that action alone, switching a brush can take you a lot longer when you add up the time it takes. Just clear out the water, right? Like to put the brush in the water, rub it around, then dry, like wick off the excess water so it doesn't settle in the bristles, right? And then switch out the brush to the next one, which is then grab the paint from the palette and bam, start. So you see, like, all that just to switch brush to continue painting the same color, because, you know, one brush is bigger than the other. In this case, this one's bigger. So that's just way too much time. It is just way too much time. And yeah, it's not even a minute maybe, but those few seconds when it comes to like swapping over to the other colors and such, it adds up like quite a lot. I have no idea what the music's from, like some gamer movie, but it's good. It is from Halo. It's music from Halo. It's a video game. It's one of my favorite all-time video game franchises. I love Halo so much. And I ordered a new board game from Mantic Games. It's a company that makes miniatures, and they are doing Halo. And I am thrilled for that. Okay. How many sets you must be doing patiently? Halo Infinite? Well, Infinite is the latest game that came out. But yes, Halo Infinite's one of those games. So I had gone out the last few days that I've been kind of just missing in action. I took a little chance to take a little vacay with some coworkers. These coworkers I usually don't go out and hang out with. It's the first time we have generally gone out. And what's crazy is they've never traveled far into the United States from, since they're from Mexico. And they were kind of nervous, but I said, let's just do it. I know the area. I used to go to school over there. And we were going to go out and, taste some good food from the restaurants I like to visit when I was over there in college. We had done so, and we had a blast. But it's one of the reasons that we had just kind of just disappeared for a little bit. Went to the gaming stores. I was hoping to buy some more Krieg stuff, but didn't find anything. The good news about painting these backpacks right now is that there's only the infantry that have them, thankfully. That's a lot less backpacks to have to go through. We got the flamethrower guy here, who doesn't even have a backpack. Let's go. In fact, there's a good handful of these models who don't even have like the traditional leather strap backpacks. Like this one here. It's not a traditional backpack. Glad you can have fun with your coworkers. Yeah, thank you. I'm so sad right now because ever since the Krieg army being a more unofficial plastic kits army for the Imperial Guardsmen, right? The official plastic, it was announced. There's a bunch of scalping for the Krieg kill team squad, which is what these guys are from. I went to the store up where I went to go hang out with my friends, and it was all gone. There was nothing left. Nothing whatsoever. And I went to 2 stores. They were both empty. And I thought, wow, it's a pretty big deal. Like this whole Krieg army stuff. People are going out of their way to buy them and resell them for like 3 times the price. It's stupid. It's really stupid. This music makes me want to paint some ODSTs from Halo. It would be amazing. Is there a lot of details for the backpack? I wouldn't say details necessarily. It's just it's the next biggest body of like colors that you have to paint. That's just time consuming. And I like to be intricate. I hate leaving like white inside the details. I'm being very methodical. Methodical, but not too detailed, because if I take my time not to paint other parts of the model and I'm not focused on the speed of it, then this could take forever painting one little model. And the idea is these guys, they don't live for long on the tabletop, so there's no point in putting so much effort for little guys that are gonna die real quick. And I know that sounds messed up, but that's just the Krieg way. They're there to do their job, and their job is to serve their empire, their emperor, and to reestablish and redeem Krieg. Yep. Yeah, these guys don't live for long. These guys go in and out just as quick as they're made, just as quick as they fall. Yep. That's so sad. They're here to die for the emperor. Just do it. Do it. Yeah, exactly. Do the Krieg thing. Go and die. Die for your empire. Serve your purpose. No, but I'm just imagining that the Osti with seeing Krieg is living his life underground, peaceful. He's just in his trench, sipping on his uh his dirty water that looks like coffee, but is not coffee. He's just vibing there. I imagine he's in his like bunker bed barracks by himself because everyone else is doing something else. I guess they're getting ready outside, and he was told to take a rest because he got injured. Right? So I imagine he's just in his barracks and he's looking out of the very entrance that leads into the trench, and it's raining. As he hears distant bombs of artillery hitting the ground, whooshing by. And he's wondering, when will he be able to serve his emperor and atone for his sins? Hang though? Do you mean pain? Oh, like the panging of a noise, like a comic. Mistranslation, I guess. Too tragic moment. The AI said, "I feel pang." Blah blah blah. I'm gonna use it. All right, all right. Oh yeah, is there any special music for every race? Not necessarily. No. There is a video game called Dawn of War that does have like main themes for them in the game. Like when you select a faction, you'll hear like a theme for them, but it's not like that's the song that they have for like everything that they do, if that makes sense. Like it's just for the game. So peaceful. Very peaceful indeed. That's why you like the game, I guess. Is there you can vibe to with the view? Yeah, there's lots of great vistas. Halo's a beautiful game. There's no denying its aesthetic is one of its most pleasing factors. Um, the story is intense. It's not like the biggest drama ever, in all honesty, and I've been a Halo frickin' fan, like a hardcore one, from the beginning, and I think the story is more expansive than anything. It's not like a personal drama, if that makes sense. It's not about like a single person other than like Master Chief and Cortana per se. Everyone else around is kind of just like secondary too, but they are appreciated because they're like expanded lore. Do they have the best of personalities and such? Not necessarily, but they're there. Halo is a game that's been with me also since I was like, and maybe, no, even probably younger. Like, it's been with me since like the beginning of Xbox 360. If I'm correct, I'm probably gonna say it was like around when I was 10 years old, yeah. And I've been following it every year. I still play it every year at least once in one game or another, right? Like one form factor or another. It means a lot to me. It means so much to me. It was one of my main goals as a kid. Oh, hi. It's been a while, Oscar. Welcome, dude. You've kind of gone silent. What's up? Been busy? But yeah, it's a game that's been near and dear. It's so much so that when I wanted to be a game developer, and I mean, I still would love to be one, but I'm hearing that the market right now ain't so great for it. But it's one of my main inspirations. I wanted to be a Halo developer really badly. Now, with the horror stories I'm hearing about, like the development team and such, I'm a little more skeptical about being one so now, but I definitely was heavily inspired. Are you watching the replays? Nice. Yeah, because my field was going to be programming, but I just figured it's not really my calling. I'm definitely on the artistic side of things. Like that's really what motivates me. Having like creative, like design power, if that makes sense. And I figured getting into the world of computer science, since it pays well, and then getting to do what I want was going to be like the ideal like job. But no, programming hurts the brain. It tickles the brain in a not so good way. And it's boring as hell. I don't think I can do it. I really enjoyed the prospect of a good pay from it, but like I'm hearing people are getting out of college with the programming degree, and it's already now so oversaturated that like people are basically getting out of college and they're ending up at a McDonald's. Like all that money that you're paying, you're in debt for like half your life. Let's be real honest here, half your life, and they're not even offering you a job in with a good pay to like pay it in a reasonable amount of time. Like that's terrible. It's so messed up. I saw that and I said, yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna wait out, see what I like, think about it, think about what I want to do, and just turn the ship before I commit to finishing my degree. Right now, I'm very interested in doing this whole online creator stuff, make some videos, grow the hobby. I really want to open up a store. I have a coworker who's insanely into wanting to build a restaurant and board game fusion store. Oita says, need a lot of effort for programming though, but so proud of you. Oscar's telling me, relatable. That's what I did with the mechanic stuff. Yeah, dude. I'm glad that you found something that you enjoy though. Now the problem is I'm kind of just a sitting duck. I'm constantly thinking about it like on a weekly basis, but I'm not like letting it eat my life and stress me out any further than I need, because I already have enough gray hairs as is from the stress of going to college. I don't need any more stress, so I'm kind of just taking it slow right now. I'm kind of just making my money. I'm focusing on my health. I'm focusing on what I love to do, which so far has been this, the hobby side of things. Now, the next step is making it my dream job. Like, getting to do this full time would be amazing. I would love to do that. I'd like to add more content, more stuff to my, how can I put it? More stuff to the quality of what I'm doing here. There you go. Like I said, maybe have a Patreon. I would like to render models for like a Patreon. That would be awesome. I'd like to have a partner that would like to maybe do that with me. I was hoping Abram would be interested, but he hasn't lifted a finger. But everyone to their own things, right? Their own devices. And funny enough, speaking of like the whole retail thing, so there's this friend who I met at work. He, of course, I'd call a coworker, but he's a friend now. You know what I mean? Like it kind of goes beyond it. It goes beyond just coworker. But this friend, he's older than me, he's also kind of had that, like, I don't know what to do with my life kind of scenario, but he knows what he wants, just like me. Like, if I could open up a Warhammer store and it could thrive, I can have play space. All the work, all the effort that I do, even though stressful, because that's what I've been hearing nonstop. Like, it's an uphill battle every day, and you got to learn to love it, because it's not all fun and games, believe it or not. When you own a store, it's genuinely terrifying to think about, like, if you don't make sales and stuff like that, if products don't make it, the customers, albeit you now have the power to be mean to them when they're being mean to you. Yeah, you can drive customers away, and that means less money for you, opposed to like big corporate companies like Walmart, who has the luxury of having so many low-class people, middle to low-class people who need their product, right? Because it's cheaper, because it's there, it's easy to grab. In a hobby store, you know, it's not cheap because it's a hobby. We already know how expensive Warhammer is, for example. Like, you can't tell someone, like, go screw off, don't ever come back, because if you do that, that is literally one less customer that could have been a constant person that shows up. Just like my case scenario with this one person that was just really rude to me. He kind of shooed me away, and I promised myself I'd never go back there and buy from this person, and I'd make sure people know, like, hey, he treated me this way. That really wasn't cool. Now he's losing multiple customers, right? And even though it's a small pool, but like, at least I make sure that my local group knows about it, and I know Oscar probably remembers it. But like, when you think about it, that means like everyone from over here already knows this story because of me. Now they're not willing to go over there and buy from this jerk, right? So there you go. The things you do in your store also matter, is what I'm basically getting at. So like, you have to be nice, you have to be open, you can't be just judgmental, you can't be pushing your product because, you know, you're tired of it sitting on your store shelves. People get upset about that stuff, like business people. And those are the hardships of owning a store, and that's just one of them, right? Like, I'm gonna be honest, this guy was mean to me mostly because I didn't buy anything there yet, and I was constantly, you know, being a part of the conversations. But he one day decided to say, like, oh, you know, only people who have contributed to the store are able to contribute to the ideas about what happens in the store, because I was trying to be helpful and like give ideas to help out. He didn't want it because he's like, yeah, you don't get to speak because you didn't buy things. And I said, wow, that's pretty messed up. Like, wow. In other words, if you don't give money, you have no input. And I understand that he was basically trying to move product, because at the end of the day, his business is selling these things, and if he's not making sales, he's having a bad time. But the problem is he took it out on me instead of himself, who's the one that's job is to do that, right? Like, don't put that stress on your customers. And he obviously couldn't hold that back, and he threw it at me. And I said, yeah, I'm not dealing with a jerk that does that. He's probably going to do this again. And yeah, now he has himself a good group of people locally at my place that just knows about that trashy situation. And that wasn't like just one part of it, right? Like, then there was the whole, I was wondering what the hell he was doing with this whole second shop when he was barely floating in the first one. So, you know, his loss. Yeah. Own store. The thing is, here from where we're at, it is such a small community. People here look at the price of Warhammer and they are just afraid of it. They're like, oh god, no, that is terrible. I'm not gonna do that. The problem is, and I keep telling people, I keep telling people, like, when they're interested, or they at least when they're like, how's the price and like what's the deal, it's like, dude, you only have to buy it once. Sure, just like myself, like, you only say, I'm only gonna add this many to my army, and it also then becomes, oh my gosh, this is so cool, I'm gonna add more to the army. And that, yeah, it is more expensive because, you know, look at me, I've been doing this for this long and I'm still buying more models because, you know, you want to improve, and technology makes these models look better, right? Like better poses, easier method to clean them. You want to add more variety to your army, stuff like that. Yeah, like it's expensive, but again, the cool thing about this is the models stay with you forever. So you're not constantly like having to renew the models. Your models still function perfectly. Now, the problem is people don't understand that part of it, and they assume, oh my god, like this is so expensive at face value. Yes, it's true, but you're keeping these forever as long as you treat them right. They are here forever. And that's why I'm so excited to paint like my Kriegsman, because it's like, this is an army I know I'm gonna have for all of eternity as long as I live, obviously. And they're gonna look awesome for however long I decide to keep them. And I'm gonna keep adding to it. But the point is, I'm not gonna have to like rebuy this army just because DW may say, oh, you know, we're just gonna discontinue them. They don't stop existing. Maybe their rules cease to exist, just like how they did remove them at first from like 9th edition to 10th, and 10th they kind of been gone for a while, but they're coming back. And a lot of the local community said, screw it, we're just gonna play another game rules that allows you to play with these models. And we found a one-page rules, and it's been so far one of the most fun things these last few months. Just one-page rules with the new rules right up. The people who are willing to join because of its simplicity, it's amazing. It's frankly just game changing, at least over here locally. I know there's a few of the guys there that are kind of but 40k is like the better thing, and that's okay. We're just waiting for that to get even better, and hopefully with the new edition, because that's what I've been hearing from my friends, we're kind of just waiting for a new edition. And when I mean my friends, Andrew was one of them in particular. Abram said the same thing, and they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna wait for the next one and see what's new. Let's see if they're listening, because this edition feels kind of just bonked. They bonked its head a little too hard, and now it's a little dum-dum. So this store, at least from over here in Mexico, it's really hard to be safe about these things. So one of the scary factors is there's cartels, there's gangs, there's property owners that are insanely aggressive. And in Mexico, you have like the fees of maintaining the building, of course, right? The air conditioning, the light, cleanliness, the tools you need to clean your stuff. And on top of that, sometimes if you're living in a bad area, you can have a gangster, basically. In Mexico's terms, they're called cartel, or a mafia, if you want to put it. They will come and they'll essentially charge you for, quote unquote, their protection. They'll protect you from who? Let's be real, nobody. You don't need protecting from anyone when you're owning a little store. The idea is they'll protect you. It's another word of saying, like, we're charging you for being here. And they have nothing to do with you. They're thugs, they're gangsters. And they think they deserve the world, so they charge their citizens. Oh, just a moment here. We are going to put some other music. Let's see what there is. There we go. But yeah, so there's these mafias that basically charge you for just existing, and my friend is in Mexico, his business is over there. I'm not living there. We have a home over there, but I'm not living there. And he's telling me it's getting worse and worse to the point where he's willing to come over here to the United States and bring his business over. He's that concerned because as of lately, I haven't heard news from exactly this event, but I understood that pretty close to where I'm at, someone decided to say, screw you, I'm not paying the mafia protection fee that you're coming to so-called, you know, protect me from. And they murdered him. The guy got killed. He shot him right on the spot. And a lot of people are afraid. A lot of narcos are coming out and about, do their thing again. And people are afraid, and that includes my friend. He's just like, yeah, we don't want to do with that. I want to get away from that. At least in the States, that kind of stuff isn't allowed, at least you'd hope so. And they'll hopefully like put investigations and stuff, and people don't have that kind of fear over here because there's still a standing government that's willing to stand for itself. Over there in Mexico, that's one of the biggest problems, is that these crime syndicates are so big. Going against them is like going against your own nation, if that makes sense. Like they're so big, they're so powerful that you basically can't do nothing about it now. Here in the United States, that's not a case scenario, but yeah, people are at least willing to defend themselves because we can have our own guns too. Mexico has a no gun ownership, you know, policy stuff. You can buy some permits, but gun shops in Mexico are basically non-existent, so you really have no choice about protecting yourself. These narcos have all the big guns. They even have like military grade stuff, and you have what, a kitchen knife at best, a metal stick. It's really scary. It's really scary. So the reason I bring it up, because it's just part of the real world. My friend wants to make a business over here. He wants to move his shop from Mexico over here in the United States, and he wants to set up shop because it's just safer. Simply said, it's safer. And he wants to have a partner help him because one of the biggest problems that he's running into. So the story is, Mexico's dangerous. He's coming this way. Now the issue is he has no money to really spend that kind of money in the United States. Now, there is currency in Mexico called pesos, right? They're pesos in Spanish. Pesos, and their value is that much less of the American dollar bill. So $1 is 20 pesos in Mexico. So the value of the dollar is so much higher than the Mexican currency that in Mexico, dollar renders so much further. It's basically gold for Mexico, the dollar. They don't like to compare it that way, but I'm saying that in the sense of its value. And a lot of basically Mexicans who want to come this way have it harder because they have to work almost 4 times as hard of that of American minimum wage just to make the same value of a minimum wage. That's how hard it is. And essentially, if he moves his business over here, he's losing that 4 times the value of his investment this way because America is expensive. So now, because it's expensive, he can't do, because right now he has his shop and he's working on it alone. But when he goes to the United States, it's so expensive he can't do it alone, is basically what I'm saying. He needs a partner, and he's seen what I've done, and he likes these tabletop games. He doesn't know much about it, but he loves the concept, and he's always wanted to invest in being a part of it. He wants it to be his main focus. He wants to learn. He wants to grow it. And that's at least the assumption I make that he sees in me, which is he sees someone who really does know about the hobby, and he'd like me to run it in that aspect. And also as a co-partner. We're so far feeding each other ideas. We're kind of wondering what might be able to launch here locally, because in our community it's really small. We have to figure out what's gonna work, and we're kind of dead set on making some like ramen, because at least locally speaking we don't have good ramen here. We have kind of cheapy ramen. So we might sell that, and then like in the future, if we get time, we start getting carpenters to build us some custom tables, get a bigger play space, and then we can hopefully host like Warhammer play areas. And then as that grows, sell maybe 3D printed armies, bits, scenery stuff. I really want to run paints, and my preference right now is between two thin coats from Duncan Rhodes or my #1 pick, which would probably be Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl. I really want to run those. Thank you. I will drink my awa. Oscar, when you plan to come down over here, dude? Hope I can make it. Yeah, me too. So far, like, I've never felt so like committed about it, and so far the only thing that's hindering us, because right now we're like brainstorming, getting to know each other, the concept of a store, and we're thinking California is just way too expensive to start a business. We're thinking it's gonna have to be in another state, and if that happens, this whole streaming thing is gonna have to take a pause for that store to happen. And I'm really sad, because I feel like all the work I've put in here is kind of just gonna be thrown away, unfortunately. So that's a scary thought. I'm working on it maybe in like 2 weeks. Nice. What location would you open up the shop? The location is a little tricky. I really want to do it on Imperial Street, you know, the one that goes through our local Costco, Walmart, Target, like that street. Right next to, well, it's right in front of Costco. But in front of Costco, they have a lot of empty buildings that look really pretty, with like windowed fronts, where they have like, they're like rock structures in a way, like they have like the rock walls design and stuff. It looks really pretty. I would love to put it there. I feel like because all the traffic is over there, because of all the local grocery stores and stuff, I feel like I'd get the attention of people passing by who are kind of just curious about what's nearby. That would be my prime area. Now, I really wish that El Centro just renewed all of Main Street and they cleaned up the homeless people that are invading Main Street area. Then I'd consider there, but the buildings are so run down. I just don't like it, I'm gonna be honest. But I'd be down to do it there. A location near the mall would be awesome too, but I feel a lot of people don't go that way, at least from El Centro, to go play there. I don't think they'd go that way. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, right. Like I also thought that was a great place. That's why I mentioned it, right? That would be super cool. Now, that here's another thing, and this is like one of the biggest asks, but people who invest in the store are essential for a store's startup. Like, let's say I open up, having to have a consistency of going and buying something as like a donation, almost not necessarily a donation, right? Because you give something in a donation and don't expect anything in return, but like in support of a store, you have to constantly go and find excuses to buy something. That's the problem about a lot of these places that people don't understand. Like even our so far local great gaming store, they don't have much of hobby stuff whatsoever there, but you gotta find something that you want to buy there to support it. And if they have nothing, you have to make some sort of excuse. People don't do that nowadays. People have to be super thought provocative about like, hey, I make this little money. The United States is so expensive. I'd rather invest every penny into the thing I like rather than throw it at something that I don't necessarily like just in support. So people say, screw support, I get what I want. And that mentality is ruining a lot of local shops because no one's spending the money, regardless, in the sense of support. People, I feel here in the States are insanely entitled. I think it's a world phenomenon now because it's just everyone's struggling financially speaking. But people are not giving money for the kindness of their heart. It's more about themselves. What can they get out of their own work? Which is great because that means you value your own time and money. But that means because everything's difficult to save up for, you're not really able to spend carelessly in support of something else. So you have to sell people, as a store owner, you have to sell why they should come and play. And one of the biggest reasons, at least for our group, is yeah, we're a group of people who constantly go and play. We do exist, we have groups, we have nice people. That itself brings in other people, or at least lets them stay. As long as people are aware that we exist, that's already a win for me. And as time goes, as more people start coming to the store, you know, and then the chat is more alive with people consistently talking, it creates a buzz that people like to see because then they know, hey, this is alive, this can actually work out. And if that buzz is big enough, then I have hope that my store can successfully launch. One of the biggest things that I'm kind of just like, dang it, I don't want to do it really. And having to have basically GW merchandise and their permission to sell it on the floor is just like, if I could avoid it and I could be a successful store, I really would. But all the research I've been doing is like, well, when you think about like how a lot of store owners say, if you don't have Magic the Gathering in your store, you're not going to float because a majority of people play it. It's the same aspect with like wargaming people. It's like, if you don't run Warhammer because it's like the big idol, right? It's like the biggest example of tabletop wargaming. People are not going to come and buy almost anything. Like, you'll have a better chance selling Warhammer stuff than like Star Wars Legion, Battletech, you know, even Old World and stuff. Like, well, actually, no, Old World's Warhammer, duh. But like X-Wing, what other games can I think of? Flames of War, yeah, that's another great example that I heard about. Like, if you run those other than GW as your primary product source and people are not into it, it's just gonna sit there for eternity. Like, no one buys these things. the communities are so small that you're just asking for trouble. GW doesn't have that problem necessarily. Like, sure, some stores like that I know of in over there in the Yuma area, they've had like products that I've seen there for years. It's insane. But the crazy part is they have a community. There's still pre-orders, and they pre-order exactly like 2 order bases. In other words, you see a release and you tell your local shop, hey, I'm willing to support you by paying like 15% extra so that you can order this for me in particular. You get the little bonus, we both win. And then like whatever, like if people have like a financial issue where they can't pay off the order, then they just put it on the shelves, right, for someone to pick up. And then that's how they stock their stuff. It's just whatever's left over. If people are interested, there you go. It exists. Have at it. Juan says, sadly, you would be a competition with the mainstream shop too. That is true. However, it doesn't have to be a competition. That's what some people don't understand. It's like, he is primarily a cart shop. I don't want to be a cart shop. I want to be a tabletop wargaming shop. And we're not even providing revenue for the other shop. So what competition really is there? If I start selling cards, then yes, we would have a problem. But my store would primarily be food and hangout for Warhammer. And I'm not saying Warhammer specific, right? Because there's every other type of war game. But the idea is that would be my unique take on what my store is about. And that's what he doesn't do. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And then, so those are like the main names that you should run. But then like on the side, I want to do like my own stuff with 3D printing. So that way I can also generate some like custom revenue on the side. Oh, dang it. My brown color got mixed with some of the flow aid. No. Damn. Waste of paint. One of the ideas I was mentioning also about my shop was like, I know a lot of people here are starting to get into 3D printing, and 3D printing your own models is cool and all. Now, the problem is sometimes getting a hold of those people to actually print you something takes quite a while. And these people are not doing it as a dedicated like little business thing. Now, I don't want to sit down and make strictly 3D prints for the shop. I like printing my own stuff too. And so do these people that I know, which is why they take so long. My friend Juan here understands that that's one of the issues, right? Because he wanted some like work, like some dwarven stuff. But they're so busy and caught up with other people doing like requests and stuff that they don't get around to working on Juan's stuff immediately. And Juan, let's be real, it's okay. He was just impatient to actually get his stuff because he was so excited. Now, rather than having that kind of situation for my shop, if I have 3D printing as some of the product, I would like to have my friends here in the local shop be a part of like a partner system. If you make models for the store to sit on the shelves like product, I'll give you a cut of whatever sold. Right? And I was thinking like 30% of whatever you make. Stuff like that. That way, I'm not doing all the printing by myself, if that makes sense. I have product on the floor. I pay you for your work. I get a little cut of it for, you know, pulling it out, having it out there on the floor to sell for you. You're reserving a spot to display your work and then make some money out of it. I know, like, Abram would love to do that. Like, he's desperate to make any sort of money. And he's not in the wrong for it, right? It's just, it sucks to be without money. And I know he would love to do that. The problem is getting a lease and permission to sell these things. I'm not sure how that functions in person, but I know online you can't sell like products on eBay and like Etsy and stuff like that without the permission of the licensee, right? The person who owns it. The problem is, are you okay, sir? What do you mean if I'm okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Been playing the Wood Elf campaign for Total War 3 and very hard difficulty achievement. Very different playstyle from other factions. Yeah, they are different. By the way, I'm working on my new computer, dude, and I'm excited to play some Total War with a new PC that can run it even better. I was hoping that we can get like a group of friends and play like a bigger Immortal Empires, and I was thinking of playing my Wood Elves. I haven't played them again in a more serious Warhammer tone. Get that Wood Elf mojo going again. My cough? Yeah, I'm get a little dry throat. I drank my agua, but it's just like, ooh, so dry. Even agua doesn't help. Another sad part in reality about being a store owner is, yeah, okay, so it's a misconception a lot of people have, and it's a reality I have to face, and thankfully I have YouTube to kind of just search up and these people tell me the truth. It's that if you're doing a store, it's for it's the love of it, and it's because you want to spread that love, if that makes sense. So what that means is that is a whole lot less time to actually play the game that you love, if that makes sense. You do it on your spare time, but you're going to get less and less of that time. So, in other words, if I open up the shop and I want it to be big and successful, and the bigger it gets, the less chance you have to really do your own thing. because your focus is running the shop. So it's almost like sacrificing yourself so that others can have the same experience you once had. And you don't get to play anymore. At least not as much as you want to. That's something definitely to consider, because I like to paint a lot. And if I can't paint, that's gonna suck for me. I really love painting. And if I open up the store, and like I said, if I want it to do great, I won't be able to stream. Not as much. It'll definitely be rare. Now, I'd say I'm streaming more than enough right now, since I'm just starting off. I'm doing it for that same reason that I'm excited and I kind of want this to launch. So I'm putting a lot of work into doing this consistently. Now, that is multiple times a week that I sit here and I paint, and I just turn on the camera and I continue. Well, if I have this said shop happen, I'm probably gonna have to schedule it to be these specific days and this many hours to actually only work on it, not this whole turn on and then work on it as much as I please. Stream me running the shop, that would be really cool, honestly. There's this YouTube channel that I'm watching from up north. They don't mention what state they're in. They're like up north of the states, other than the country, right? They're in the states and they're really close to Canada. That's all that they said. But there's these guys, these two partners that run a hobby store, you know, with the classic Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Digimon, D&D, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, if I didn't say that already. And I'm learning a lot from them, and I really like their personality, and they tell me all these things, and I've heard it multiple times, not just from them. So when you have a resounding and repeated experience, I can expect something similar. And they're streaming on their spare times, but they're doing it like in the store, which is kind of crazy. And they have like recommendations, their thoughts, news coverage, what they think. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of gets repetitive. Like, you hear it multiple times. There's not always something new. But that's what I would be more concerned about, and I would make content probably around the things that these people don't cover, because I think what they do is what's easy to cover. And that's the part. When you try to make something different, it adds a different layer of complexity. I'll give you an example. I could just be streaming without these gloves, right? I could be streaming without these gloves, and I could be streaming without the layout of the stream. The layout being obviously the borders around the stream. These borders, right? So if I do all that without it, and it's just me holding a brush and painting, it's not as interesting. There's a nice flair, like a wow factor to how the stream feels because of all these things added. The same thing with adding the little avatar on the bottom right. It adds more flavor to it, right? And now the downside is, like I said, there's a give and take. So it looks all cool, but it is actually a lot harder to paint with these gloves on than it is without. I have more control without it. So I'm suffering a little part of discomfort because I'm willing to make it more interesting for the viewers. So that's basically what I'm getting at when it comes to doing like all these added stuff to the store. As you said, just blog you running the store, all right? So how can I do that without making it boring? That's the extra work that I have to do. I have to think about it, and I have to work out a system so that it isn't boring. Just doing that alone is more work. And yeah, you get a better product. But now what happens is, and it's a content creator problem that I hear endlessly, is you can think that all these things are great ideas, but if no one's watching, that's a lot of work that you're just frankly throwing down the drain. And that's why a lot of people resort to doing things that they frankly don't like. For example, like, sure, if I can build a Warhammer store and no one shows up, no one spends money, and I'm like really sad that I'm in debt with this store that's making no money, I might just give in and sell Magic the Gathering only. You see, like, people do that because it's just so much work to have a hobby store, and that's a reality. So I have to come to terms that this won't be easy. I have to put a whole lot of extra work just for it to float. Same with like the stream right now. So like there's a lot of things that I have to work on to like still kind of like polish the channel. Also it just says out of context right now, but are you gonna plan to add some background music too for the shop? Yeah, I do want to add some background music for the shop. In fact, that's one of the problems that I think right now our local shop doesn't have. And I don't see it as a like an immediate problem, but they just don't have a lot of noise in there. It's not very teched up, and it's not a lot of effort that they're putting in right now. So yeah, I would like to put some music in my shop. Oh, as I was saying, that there's a lot of things. Oh, Wheat already knows a lot of these things. I'm constantly talking to him, but I have to add a lot of things. Like I still need to make a Twitter. A lot of people use Twitter. I don't really use Twitter, in all honesty. X, as it's now called, right? But I don't use it. But he has a point. Like a lot of people are on there still. A lot of artists and content creator use it just for that same focus. Just that because a lot of people are there, I have to use something I don't necessarily like, but you gotta use it because it's where people are at. Like those are the kind of things I have to kind of accommodate for. Same with like making a main character for the channel. Like I want to make a better looking avatar. In all honesty, this one's cool and all, but again, I just did this one like on the spot. There's not a lot of creative thought into it. I want to make it more nice looking, and it also kind of fit the aesthetic I like. Like it's okay, but it could still be better. VTubing, yeah, honestly, I know that sounds kind of cringe to a lot of people, but believe it or not, it adds so much personality. As a concept, it's cringe. I think a lot of people make it cringe. I would like one to just kind of be more entertaining to look at. There's a reason it's popping off. As much as people want to deny it, yeah, like I said, it can be a little cringe, but it works. It's entertaining. People like to see cartoon character talk. And if that's the personality and that's what I have to do, ni modo. No, you'd be surprised. I have a lot of coworkers who are like, ew, that's kind of cringe. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But you know what? I'm doing it. In fact, a lot of coworkers right now think I'm VTubing right now, which I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm VTubing light, really. Yeah, I was gonna say, exactly. That's what they're telling me. They're like, yeah, you're basically VTubing. With the PNG, it's not as abstract. It's not very, like, it's not rigged. That's what they call it, rigging. And keep in mind, VTubing is like totally new to me. when I found out about it, there was a guy, a friend at the shop. His name's Michael. He was like, yeah, you should probably do some VTubing. You know, like, it's entertaining. People like to watch that. The anime crowd gets involved. You know, there's general gamers and stuff like that get to learn about you. The personalities what also fits it, and they think I'm a very charismatic person. So I was like, oh, thank you. You know, I'll consider it. But yeah, that's a necessary evil. Like I said, I didn't want to do like a more abstract VTubing. Like, I didn't want to rig. I honestly was I'm content with just the PNG. But the more and more, like, I'm thinking like, well, if I'm gonna add to this content, pretty sure I'm gonna have to go like more in depth than I really anticipated. That's just the way it is. Let's go, Joey's debut. It's time, it's lore. Yeah, I don't really have lore for my character, not necessarily. I just have themes that I really enjoy. But I guess I could make some lore. That'd be kind of fun, huh? Like, I would definitely make my character old world. Well, not just old world, but you know, like fantasy themed. In the sense of Warhammer. Its place. I've also been very interested in making my own board game. Like, I was also thinking doing miniature agnostic, and I would love to tell my own stories with my favorite aesthetics and stuff. Sell my own game and stuff like that. Make it miniature agnostic as well, but have a Patreon solely dedicated to be like, hey, this is my board game. You can definitely join my Patreon, buy the models that are aesthetically inclined for what I'm trying to build here, and then like focus on the lore. Now, a great example of that right now that I learned about is like French Crusade. If you look it up, it's basically that. Like, there's these guys hire artists who have also their own artists, and they write rules for this board game that they're planning, and then they don't have official miniatures whatsoever, but they're now working on a Kickstarter, and they have a Patreon that sells the STL files for 3D printing people. They can print the official looking models for the rules that they write online. So in other words, sell the book online, sell files online for the minis, and people can print their own if they want the aesthetic that you made for the rules that you made. And then they write lore and they add it to it. It's really cool. It's probably the most cost-effective way to make a board game without really having to sell anything other than just the rules and the story and the lore, because people are into lore more than you think. And that's like a whole different business that, like, it'd be like running two shops, two different like store fronts. And I'm uncertain about it. I'd rather honestly do that, be my bread money maker, have someone run the store, because frankly, like all that I just talked about, I don't know if I'm willing to just put this down right for a store that's going to give me a headache. Like, it's really what it is. The sad realities of life. And I can update it as I want. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, my room's getting hot. The realities of life, Awita. It's just the way it is, and there's not much we can do about it. You know, there's always some people who are like, I'm tired of all this. I'm gonna do something about it. I'm not so sure I'm there yet. Especially because I don't have money. that's the one biggest problem for a lot of people. It's money. We're not rich. I'm definitely not rich. And I said, well, I'm tired of just doing nothing with my free time that is at least productive. I want something to kind of grow and flourish. So I said, screw it, I'm doing my YouTube thing. I'm streaming exactly all this that I'm doing right now because I do it every day either way without the camera. So it's like, yeah, it's time that I just turn on the camera and do it. So I did it. I did something about it. And having to start a store is basically saying, well, that thing that you did about it, you're going to put it down again. Not rich yet. Oscar, you're rich. Give me all your money. I know it. You're hiding it. You too, Juan. I know you're rich. Ah, so much talk. I'm a broke student. Oh man, don't I know that problem. I do not envy you, my friend. That's why I have so many white hairs now. So like this whole storefront thing, like I said, one of the biggest problems is the money. I think I'd be really sad to just stand up and leave to another state just to have this dream accomplished. Because a majority of the people that I'm most excited for about like this hobby, like sharing wise, is the ones I've made here already. And like that's basically like everything I've been understanding is just California is the worst place to really establish any small pop and mom shop, which is what, you know, they refer to like these small stores. Like, it's just like the worst state to do it. And it's just like, dang, wow. Like I want to do it here because of the people I love so much, because I want to see my little town grow in the hobby. And you're basically told, yeah, well, good luck. You're in the worst place to start it. You started in hard mode. And that just really sucks the fun out of it. Man, I'm gonna need some more water. And I will go get the water. I will be right back. I need some more water. I ran out. Just a moment. All right, I'm back. I still have a little coarseness in my voice from talking so much. Didn't drink water before I started streaming, and I am paying for it. Oh, my room feels so hot. Turning off the fan so that my paint doesn't dry faster really sucks, man. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate. Oh, your voice. Yes, my voice. My voice. It is mine. My voice. The voice of a man ready for battle. Have at thee. I am placing blocks and shit, cause I'm in fucking Minecraft. I am placing blocks and shit. My goodness gracious. A Mexican American playing a British game. Quite diverse. blocks and shit, 'cause I'm in fucking Minecraft. I'm singing. Yeah, I do sing. I don't like to sing often, but I sing every often. Silver, what's up, peeps? Heck yeah, what's up? Back at it with my Krieg. The Krieg. We all love our Krieg. Krieg is love. Krieg is life. Dun, 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 dun. I miss Minecraft too. Oh my goodness gracious. I think it's going to be one of the games I'm also going to come back to once my PC's built. And play myself some Minecraft. The Krieg way. I'm gonna paint up my commissar too. Minecraft, yep, no. Have I tried painting Minecraft stuff? No, not in particular. Silver says, I just ordered a Soulblight Gravelord Spearhead Proxy set for Age of Sigmar. Ooh, so. I'm not sure. I'm not gulping. Can't think of anyone who is. I'm gonna assume it's the music. The music it is. Silver says, yeah, it comes with 10 Blood Knights instead of 5, and I got a better looking Vampire Lord. Well, they all look better than GW's. Nice. Oh, right, so it's the Night Haunts. I'm the one I'm talking about. Sorry, my bad. But yes, the Soulblight Gravelords are really cool too. The Blood Knights are the ones that they debut in Maniac's channel, which one of my favorite YouTubers. And he painted them so well. Yeah, next time, I am not going on these backpacks. What a pain. Yeah, almost done with at least the brown, but it's not just that. Like, I still have to do the sleeping bags that they have. I still have to do the sleeping bags. I still have to do the canisters for their personalized stuff. I have a lot of little details to add. And then I'm not even done with the straps. So like once I paint the metal canister and their sleeping bag, I have to paint the straps. Looking forward to painting yours. Heck yeah, man. Man, I really want to get myself on some freaking hell-bearing, those vehicles that burrow into the ground and transport the troops for the Kriegsmen. The termites, I think they call them, literally the hell termites, whatever they're called. The termite drills. The ones where it drills out of the ground and then the troops come out. Really want one of those for my men. I think they're honestly just called the termite drills. Still thinking on that. Drills. You're just missing one letter L. It's two L's. Except that you have lyrics for the background music though, like before. No, not this time. Dead. I'm dying. Your warning attention keeps happening every time I cough. Yep. Oh, I still haven't had breakfast and I'm getting a little hungry. No, I have not eaten yet. I just woke up and I said, I'm gonna start painting. That painting was my food. That, okay. Don't judge me.
What did you know about not having to eat? Huh? You don't know anything.
Thinking of some scrambled eggs, a cup of coffee, and some bacon. Something simple. It's like between morning voice and dry voice. The dry. Are you saying my voice is going between dry and the morning voice? Yeah, this music is something else. I have no idea. I'm just letting it play. Let it play, let it play. You're changing, you're changing, you're changing. I hope you're satisfied. The Primarchs of the 41st millennium bestow their protection upon the empire that they protect in the glory of their father's name. They are eternal. Whoa. Awita, no Mimi's time for you? Absolutely, yes, actually, but I want to stay. I'm doing fine. You can't sleep, huh? Yeah, of course. Of course. Just curious if you're doing all right. Oh my goodness gracious. It is starting to get cold over here. Last night it was pretty chilly. Chilly willy. Chilly willy, chilly willy. Winter is coming. No, it's not cold right now. Right now it's warm. It's just last night it got a little cold. Last night for me. Yep, and I got a cough now. The Watchmaster. Welcome back, Watchmaster. I remember you. We were talking about you earlier. How you doing, my friend? How's the sword? Nice and clean, I hope. How many traitors have you killed with it? How many enemies have tasted your blade? Your master just died? Oh, okay, I see. So you haven't killed anybody yet. Wow. Oh, and he's dead. Trairus? Traitor. Oh, no. Don't touch. Traitor. You traitor. Traitorous. You dare turn your back against the Empire. How could you? How could you? I feel like I'm sending you away. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was talking to my model. They kill traitors. In 40K, the traitors are the bad guys. The humans that turned evil. They turned against the Emperor. And I was talking to the Watchmaster because last time we were talking about him. Remember the Watchmaster? That you become a Watchmaster after your Watchmaster dies. If you're his student. Yeah, I was talking about my model. I said, how many traitors has your sword killed? How many has it fallen? I was talking to the model like a crazy person. Because I'm crazy for Krieg. My Krieg. Super Mega Krieg. I want a Bane Blade for my Krieg as well. I want so much for my Krieg. My Krieg are my children. They are mine. They belong to me. And only me. Silver can't have them. They're mine. Oh, whoa, I forgot to paint his backpack up here. Oops. Good thing I'm doing a second coat, because I would have missed that. Joyous. Hello, hi. That is my name. I like to be joyful. I'm a joyful person. Yeah, yeah. What did you want? What is it? It's the sound of my brush when it rubs against the model. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Why do I have so many voices? The best part about this is the fact that I only have to do the infantry. Oh my goodness. This would have taken so much longer if I had to do the Ogren and the artillery pieces. But nope, just them. Gonna get a drink of my awa. Delicious awa. Super mega delish. My awa, drink my awa. Yep, I drink my awa. Awa awa. That's part of it. What? I want some drills. I want a Bane Blade. I want some Death Riders. I want some Grenadiers. I want the drills. And I would like some weapon teams. Goodness gracious, my list is long. Do it. I will. I will do it all. That's more content for me as well. I never run out. More. 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 Oh no, what? Oh no, what? What's happening? You lost your words again. Okay. I thought I painted something in accident, maybe. I was like, oh, whoa. What did I do? All right. Yep, that's exactly it. The sleeping bag is next. Gotta rehydrate. Rehydrate the pellet here. Turn it around. Let's go and keep your mood hype. Get your bag slow. Thank you, thank you. So nice, so kind. We work on the white so that the bag transition doesn't look so terrible. He can sleep anywhere. Yo, he can sleep anywhere. Okay. Getting a little bit of a fatigue right here. So much of the brown and such is kind of getting me a little poo brain. Thinking maybe I should take a break. Problem is I do want to continue working on this. It's just maybe a break's in order. I did put down the white paint though, and this hobby paint is typically expensive. So I don't want to necessarily stop because I do have the paint there. So once the paint is gone, that's going to be my sign to go. Yeah, you ever like work on a project so long that you kind of get a little poo brain? Poo brain. Hard to describe, I'm gonna be honest. It's like you get a little tired of just doing the same thing, where like you get burnt out a bit. Yeah, you get it? Alright. You haven't eaten yet. Half energy, but still you're doing well today. Nice progress through the pain backpack. Yeah. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying. I was excited to work on these today, so it drives me on. You kind of. You're falling asleep. If you're being quiet, yeah, you're falling asleep. It's quite late for you. I mean, it's in the morning hours and you haven't slept. Of course you'd be sleepy. If your mind is not running around thinking of something to do, it wants to rest and you're fighting it. You're fighting it. You'll try for a nice conversation. Mm-hmm. You're fighting the sleep. Why are you fighting the sleep? Give in. Give in to the sleep. You're tired, my friend. You want to hear the earlier OST? Believe it or not, I do too. Let's see. Once I finish this real quick, I'll put it up again. You like the Halo ODST ambient? Okay, let's see real quick. Okay. Yeah. Like the music too. Probably one of the best parts about the game too is the music. The music is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. You promised me one thing. Can you just be human? Dun, 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 dun. Freaking love that quote. Alright, that is the last of the white that I had poured out. I think I'm going to go, and I say I think, but really I am going to go take a small break. I presume it's going to take a little bit. I want to take my time. I do want to come back to this today. I am quite fixated on it happening, so next time I will be doing this again. Hopefully you might catch a stream, Awita. It'll be maybe a few hours. Alright, well, thank you again for joining. I think it's going to have to be a separate stream. So, for now, this is it. Thank you, everybody who has joined. I really do appreciate it. That's it. Bye-bye.